Hey everybody, thanks for watching another episode of The Shop on YouTube. So today what we have here is a barrel out of a quick attach system for, I don't know if it's an excavator or a loader or what, but basically this is part of the quick attach, and you can see the hydraulic ports here, and basically there are pistons with rods in here that, depending on how the hydraulic system is pressurized, it'll either extend or retract the pin for the quick couple, and the pin will come in and out on this location. So the issue that we have here, there's threads, and these threads are very damaged. The gland nuts that thread into here pulled out, and the customer, who's actually a hydraulic repair shop in Circleville, New York, or Pine Bush, Viking Hoses and Fittings, Eric, he's a great guy, and he asked me just to clean this up and bore weld over these threads so he can cut new threads and rebuild this for the customer. And so what we're going to do is we're going to degrease the threads, going to wire wheel it, then we're going to flap disc each side, this side and the other side. Once that's done, I'm going to preheat it. I'm going to mount it to the fixture table, and I'm going to use that bore mount, the bore welder mount that I made a YouTube video about like a week ago or so. So degrease, clean up, preheat, fixture onto the table, get the bore welder set up. I'm going to weld it out with 030 wire with 75-25 or 75% argon, 25% CO2. I'm going to weld it about 19 volts with hard wire, and I'm going to spirally bore weld up and out. Let's get some progress. All right, guys, now that I got this cleaned up, water wheeled, sprayed down with brake clean, blew off in a couple different steps, I'm going to set it up and hanging off the side of the table. Now I want it to be as perpendicular to this table as possible. So when the bore welder goes to mount, it will line up and be centered on the bore of this. So what I'm going to use is my Fireball tool 12-inch mega square. I'm going to set this up so it's like a big V block hanging off the table. So I'll get it set up like this. Not that it really matters, but I'll square this to the table just because my OCD. I'll clamp this down. If I hold it over here, it's going to try and fight the weight of the tube. So I'll actually gain leverage if I clamp it over here. So that'll be more better. Now once I tighten down this one pinch bolt, you'll see how it really will bring the bore welder into alignment. Looks pretty darn good. And just preheat some of that, get the steel up to temperature and burn off any sort of oil or whatever might be residual, even though we degreased it already. Hey guys, so I have the suitcase welder hooked up, 030 wire, electrode positive, C25 or 7525, 19.3 volts. I've already set the wire to come out the bore welder. I'm gonna purge some gas. Now let me just put the drive roll back together and flip this closed. I use a little acid brush on the nozzle gel just so I could put a thin coating on. This really helps a lot with splatter buildup on the bore welding consumables, because you really don't want to have to stop just to clean it. You can avoid it. It'd be nice if you can just weld the bore completely in one pass. Just makes it easier. When you're welding by hand, it's way easier to start and stop anywhere, just because, I don't know, you can. Anytime I use the anti-splatter, I'll make sure to push a little bit more wire out when I'm done and clip it, because I don't know if you can see it, but there is some that gets onto the wire, and I feel like it just helps with a nice initial crispy arc if you clip that away and you have fresh wire start. Let me just turn it so you guys can see this. So if you take like a horizontal plane and you picture where the wire comes out, that's where, you know, if you're welding a bore and you have that copper plate I like to use on the bottom, this just helps with lining it up. So like vertically is how we're gonna run this. So I just need to come back a little bit, and basically this just helps your wire so you can visually line it up to where you want to start it. You know that your nozzle or your tip to work distance is accurate and all that good stuff. So now I want to see, what I think I'm going to do is actually start right at this port, so as it comes around it will not burn into that at all, and it'll spiral out from there. And then once I get to the top of the welds, I'll stop the bore welder. So we're preheated. We have our gas purged out. We just need to set this up to this port. And unlock this right there. I don't know if you can see that. You can see just a little bit of that wire right by the tip of that. See it? Like 11:45 on the clock. So it's just past the port, so we're good to go. So let's do some bore welding, yeah! Make sure that counter bore is all covered with that Walther E4. The port is right here, so I'm going to have the wire start just beyond the port. Right there. Unlock this, drop it down.